I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate, it's not too late to get the solar tax credit, but you have to act right away. Also, Adam Wonus and Vivian Lehman will take us on awesome tours of several properties. It's all just ahead. It's You Have Real Estate. And welcome to You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or even looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed just for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions whatsoever, I have people standing by right now. All you have to do is call 407-205-0400. If you want to start that house hunt this weekend, Dallas Lehman is also standing by. He's with You Have Mortgage, and he can likely get you pre-approved to start that house hunt right away. Great show for you today, but first, it's the opening statement. You know, as the end of the year approaches, this is probably the last time I'm going to talk to you in 2019, and I'm concerned. I'm concerned that the tax break for solar is going away, but it's not too late. If you want to reduce that electric bill from $500 a month like mine was down to $50, but also still get the solar tax credit, which could really save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on your taxes this year for 2019, it's not too late. But we have to do something about it this weekend. And I have Stephen Bader, who is prepared right now to take your call at 407-205-0400, and we'll get that tax credit for you. Stephen Bader, IQ Power Solar, gives us some more information on solar.
You know, the EPA puts out a graph that rates states and areas for productivity in regard to photovoltaics or solar panels, and Florida ranks pretty high, so solar is a lot more valuable here than in other states. One of the largest differentiators between us and our competitors is we constantly try to understand electricity. And in reality, solar has a different value to every single home based on their behavior and the way that they live their life. And if you don't really look at those things, you can't really gauge a proper ROI. Our programs are all no money down programs. They're not designed to get money down or to get any money up front. They're designed to essentially have you into a program where your payment is less than what you're already paying on your electric bill. It's supposed to be a very easy, seamless transition. There's very rare cases where, if someone, doesn't necessarily qualify for the better programs or subprime lenders, et cetera, but it's no money down. You don't pay until after it's installed. You're already saving money before you pay anything.
And now it's time for real questions. Each week here on You Have Real Estate, we ask real questions to the truly trend-setting people in Central Florida's real estate community. Today on the show, a repeat visitor, Vivian Lehman with You Have Realty, and a new guest, Adam Wonus, will be here. Excellent show. Welcome to the show. Welcome, Adam. How are you?
Thank you for having me.
So let me start with you, Adam, because you do a lot of property management. We really haven't ever talked to a property manager on this show, but I think there are a lot of people that are watching now who have to make that decision. Do I want to rent out this house myself, or do I hire a property manager to rent the house for me? What goes into that decision?
I think there's a number of things that go into it. A lot of times with homes, people are moving out of the state or moving to relocate. And you've got to ask yourself, do you want to keep managing the property from another state? How big is the property? A lot of times there's multiple ACs in a home. There's plumbing issues that happen. Having a property manager on call 24 hours a day is such a benefit. And, you're not dealing with, a leaky pipe at 1 o'clock in the morning. Some of the things that most people say, they're true. It comes up, it's a 24-hour-a-day job, and it doesn't matter what you're doing in your personal life. Bad things happen with the property. So,
what's typically the cost of having a property manager versus just renting it out myself?
It depends on the property management company. Typically, you'll see a month's rent for leasing out a property, and then it's usually a management fee on a monthly basis.
Got it. Because renting a house, dealing with tenants, can be not so fun at times. Let's be honest. I think that's why there are property management companies out there, so you don't have to deal with these tenants at the end of the day, right?
Yep.
And what a great time to be a landlord as well. What are you seeing on the rental market right now? Cost-wise, the rental market's pretty good.
The rental market has been phenomenal for the past 9 years.
Yeah.
And I think that you have a lot of, the younger generation that doesn't want to deal with being tied into a mortgage, and they're moving from city to city. So in those suburban areas, they're renting more. I've never been good at selling houses, so I've always wanted to manage property. I'm an investor myself, so I love the benefits of owning property. And so for me, everybody talks about having problems with tenants and residents. When you do it full time, you learn to love it.
Evictions are way up. I think in Orange County alone, they're up 10% over the last 10 years. I mean, do you think this has to do with the rental market being so strong that a landlord, if they're getting late payments, they're just going to evict?
It's a good question, and I don't know the underlying reason behind it. I do know that it is more difficult to deal with somebody that's not paying, and so there are more attorneys that are able to work with you to get through that process a little bit more easily. Yeah. So I do think it's a little bit easier than it used to be when you were going at it alone.
So let's say I do have a property manager who is handling my rental property for me, and then the tenant isn't paying rent. Where do we go from there? Do you guys handle the eviction, or do I do it myself? How does that work?
Well, with the property manager, it's full service, so we'll handle it from start to finish. There are a lot of steps that are involved that somebody who's doing it for the first time can mess up and drag out that process. But we'll actively get an attorney involved right away, and we'll go through the step-by-step process with the attorney and keep you updated along the way, so that you're not involved in having to spend time going through and learning a totally new process.
Do you handle rentals very often, Vivian?
I don't.
No?
I do
Okay.
get the question all the time. Do you do property management?
Yeah.
I go, no, but I know this great company, Atrium. No, honestly, and what I love about working with them is the fact that, let's say I do send somebody your way, and in about a year they decide to sell their home. Mm-hmm. They're very good about calling me, hey, they're ready to sell their home. They didn't have to do that. We don't have an agreement, that they have to send it back to me. So I trust that. I appreciate it.
Don't bite the hand that feeds you, so to speak, huh?
Well, and we're not good at selling homes. We're good at managing property. And a lot of times, like I said, with realtors, they weren't able to sell a house that's maybe in a higher price point.
Right.
And rather than lose the client and have them go to another realtor, they get us involved. We rent it out for a year or two until the market gets to where the owner feels that they can get the best price for their property.
Where do people go to find rentals anymore? Like, what website should I go to? Any idea?
The biggest are Zillow, Trulia, and then you've got apartments.com. There's about 50 websites nowadays that you can go to. And what's great about us from a property manager standpoint is we have the software available to basically shoot it out to every rental site that's out there. There's some that come up that I've never even heard of, but the software and technology that we have gets it to all those places.
Yeah. And Vivian, I think some of us are still a little bit afraid to actually go check our credit, or we're afraid that we're not going to qualify for a mortgage, and that's why we continue to rent. But my goodness, with interest rates at 3.6, 3.7%,
Don't be afraid.
It's kind of free money-ish at that point.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about historically low interest rates. When you're working with a buyer of a house, how often are you seeing them get declined anymore? Are you finding most people are able to get approved for a mortgage now?
Well, they don't even go to that step. Like you said, they're scared about, hey, I don't think my credit is, up to par to do something like that. But at the same time, they think, oh, I don't have 20% to put down. You don't need 20%. If you're a first-time home buyer and you qualify for an FHA, you can get in for 3.5%. A VA loan, that's 100%. I don't think some of the veterans know that. You can. And did you hear about the loan limit? There is no loan limit on a VA loan now.
That's
crazy.
Awesome.
Just to add to that, one of the things I think people forget too, you can buy a house right now, and then if you do move and you want to be mobile, you can then rent it out and keep it as an investment if you do leave, if you have to move town. So I think that some people get so concerned with wanting to leave, but there are options, and houses are great investments for the long haul.
What typically do you see when you're renting a house to someone? We know we got first month, probably last month, security deposit typically. What do I normally have to pay to get into a rental home?
It's a little bit different with everybody, but with what we do is a first month's rent, and then a security deposit, which is typically 1 month's rent as well.
So it's not 3 at least, because a lot of people will make you pay a security deposit last month and first month all up front. At that point, you're like, I get to go buy a house. Yeah, that's my down payment right there. And then on these leases, are they typically a year? Are they typically longer on a bigger house? How does it work? Because you do a lot of nicer homes for rentals, right?
Yep. Yes.
How long are these normally?
Typically, they're under a year, and we want to keep it that way for a number of reasons. Again, when we're working with realtors, we want to have the option to, if they want to try to sell it, to be able to sell it after the year period. But if somebody's looking for a 2-year lease, we'll again get an attorney, a partner involved, and draft a longer lease for the resident. Sometimes they want to be in a school district for a certain period of time and don't want to have to worry about moving. So
Sure.
what our job is to pair up the right owner and holder of property with the right resident.
So when you're leasing a house, say $10,000 a month or something, I mean, this is a pretty significant big house payment or rent payment. Who is that person normally? Is it someone who's just shipped here for a temporary time? Is it someone who lives here? Who's that typical client?
I think one of the great things about Orlando is this is just a melting pot of everyone. So almost every scenario is a little bit different. But we do have a lot of executives that are coming in, and as Orlando's business community is growing, we're flying in more higher level executives. So they'll stay at some of our nicer homes. We have had people that are involved with the internet that want to be in Central Florida. It's a great place to live, so they can work and live anywhere, and they choose to be in Central Florida. So there's a lot of different people out there that are moving here, which is exciting for the city, and we've got a wide variety of properties to meet their need.
What do you think, like the Magic players, if they just trade someone and they get a new player here, what do you think they normally do? Any idea?
Well, we rent to a lot of them as well. So when they're here on short-term contracts and they need a place to stay, we work with Orlando City players as well, and have had such great success and great partnerships with them as well.
Beautiful. All right, Vivian, show me some houses here. Let's
Okay.
Let's go to, was it High Bank Circle?
1721 High Bank Circle. This property, they are asking $399,900. We just dropped the price on it. It was built in 2017. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's 2,250 square feet. They put over 35,000 in upgrades in this property. It is a gated community called Roper's Reserve. They also have gas piped into this community, which is nice. And they're all stainless steel appliances, as you can see.
And where is this? I mean,
This
what
is
part of town?
Winter Garden.
Okay. Winter Garden's booming.
Yes,
There's
it
no doubt
is.
about it. Winter Garden is going absolutely crazy. And I mean, at that price point in a house that looks brand new, it's kind of hard to beat.
Practically brand new. It's a nice little community too.
And then if you're going to get a mortgage at 3.7%, your payment on $400,000 is a couple grand a month typically.
And
something like that.
it costs more to rent that house
Oh,
than
of
to
course.
own right now. Literally.
Absolutely. If you have any questions or you'd like to see this property, I'll hook you up with Vivian Lehman, 407-205-0400, and another property, State Route 434.
Yes, this one is a commercial building. They're asking $1,299,000. It is, I think it's 6,000 square feet total. So you've got about 2,800 square feet on each floor that's usable space. It was built in 1983, but they've totally rehabbed the first floor. The second floor is also fixed up, but that's it's been configured for medical office space. Let's see. There's kitchen area. I mean, it really is a great location. If you're a doctor that wants to use the second floor for yourself, you can easily rent out the first floor.
I love those barn door things. I want one of those for my house, my office. And what was the price on this one again?
I wish.
Yeah.
$1,299,000.
I know you don't wish. Let's be honest here. 407-205-0400. If you'd like to see those properties, Vivian Lehman will hook you up right away. And Adam, you're going to show us some properties as well. Yours are a little bit different because you're in the rental and property management business. But I've heard that you work a lot in the Milk District as well. What's going on in that area? It's going crazy, right?
Yes, and Milk District is an area that I moved to when I first moved to Orlando and spent a lot of time there. And actually, my first ground-up construction project was in the Milk District, and we built our first two duplexes. And before we were done with construction, they were rented out. So you can see there was a pent-up demand for rental properties in downtown. And a lot of what's being built are high-rise apartment buildings. And what I think is great about the Milk District is you can have a backyard, you can have a pet. All of ours are fenced in, and so it's just a great community to be a part of. And then on the the commercial side, some really great people have gotten involved and started building out some of their commercial downtown area. So it's really taken a big turn in the past 8 years, and it's just unbelievable to see what it's become.
What kind of businesses have been popping up there? Restaurants and things, or what?
Yes, they've had restaurants, a new brewery that's come up. There's a few other restaurants that are on Slave, and then you have Whiskey Lou's, which is a staple in the Milk District, and someplace that when I was younger I used to go to. But very, 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 very great area, and just wonderful people.
Beautiful. All right, so show us a couple of properties here as well. Let's start on Northwest Moreland. Where is this?
So this is in College Park, and when we work with investors, we're looking for properties that just need a little bit of love. And this was one that we had purchased a few years ago with an investor as well. And you can see through some of the pictures, we actually took this down to the studs and redid the interior. Again, College Park, great neighborhood, great access to the schools, and this property rents for about $1,295 a month. It's a 2-bedroom. Again, just offering an alternative from the high-rise apartments that are out there and the prices that they've been able to command. Little local, these are our small boutique multifamily properties that people really seem to love.
I mean, that's about as good as you can get for a 2-bedroom in a decent location anyway, right? I mean, I'm seeing 14, 15, 1,600 more than I'm seeing 1,200.
Correct. And a lot of the 1-bedrooms that are, in the $1,800, I've seen them $2,200 range. So, again, these small boutique, there's not as many amenities, but they're beautiful, and we're making them really nice inside, but you don't have a pool.
Right.
Or you don't have a gym. So
I know that credit does have some effect on who you would rent to, I think. I mean, what should I be looking for on my credit if I'm looking to go rent something that's really going to be a red flag?
As far as the credit, everyone's situation is totally unique. I spent a long time in banking as well, so it's important to watch your credit. But there's not a one size fits all on the credit side. People have even coming out of the recession, a lot of people had bankruptcies or short sales, and we work with people. If they're working and trying to make, you can tell they're making their payments, then you work with them. So.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on down to 2506 Pine Street. Where's this?
This is in the Milk District.
Okay.
This is this is a duplex that we actually built. This is in the same line of the first that we had done. We always put the fire pits in. I'm from Ohio and love fire pits, and so it was one of the staples of what we'd put in there. But I think it creates a good sense of community. We've got the granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and these are are older, but they're all tile inside, or we use the luxury vinyl plank, so there's no carpet, so they really last and hold well, and have done tremendously well.
And what are the price points on these?
This unit rents for $2,250, and it just depends. I think with rentals, another good tip I could give you is it just depends on the time of year.
Yeah.
The summer is our busiest month, so you'll see prices that'll increase during the summer. In the slower months during the winter, you can maybe get better deals on certain properties, but the demand is very, very high in the summer, and so you'll see the prices tend to shoot up at that time.
How many bedrooms on each side?
This is each side is 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bath. It's 1,740 square feet.
Oh, wow.
What's nice about these again downtown is some of the older homes don't have as big of closets. So these have really good closet space, really good bathroom size, and they're new.
And when I'm renting a property, do I just need to go and pay the full price, asking price, or can I negotiate, you think, in the current climate?
When you're coming to ours, you pay full price.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. No, you can negotiate. Again, these are one of the things I think is different from the apartment communities. These are owned individually by different owners.
Right.
So it's not Atrium manages for people all around the country that own these properties. So it really depends on the situation. If it's in an area that's in high demand, it's a little bit more difficult to negotiate.
Right.
But if it's sat there a little bit, you can work with the owner, and sometimes they'll budge, sometimes they won't.
And if I am looking to rent property, do you think it's better to go to like the big apartment complex that's a little bit more corporate, or is it better to have someone like you who maybe if I do have a little bad credit, you can work with me? I mean, what's typically better, you think?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I think that everybody's a little bit different. There's a rule. You have to follow the rules all the way around.
Right.
So it's a little bit tough to, if you have somebody who's not in a management situation or a third party owner, there are a little bit less stringent rules.
Right.
But, from a property management that's doing single family to an apartment community, the rules are very similar. I think if you go with somebody who's not under management, you maybe have a little bit more leeway.
Sure, got it. All right, one more. This is a project you've been working on down in Winter Garden. Tell me about this project.
This is Tremaine Boyd. It's right in the heart of Winter Garden, which the market in Winter Garden is phenomenal. It was the first ground-up construction. I'm not sure the time frame for residential living. This has 22 units that are on 3 floors. The bottom floor is commercial retail. Great project. The developers on this are just wonderful people, and they really work to. They've got an area for your bike here, obviously being on the trail there. It's right in the heart of the farmers market that they do on Saturdays. This finished construction in. I want to say August was the final CO, and the 22 apartment units were leased prior to the construction being
Really?
complete. So
Amazing.
this is a great project, great building, and just wonderful character. We've got the dog park out in the back, and just a beautiful property.
If you have any questions, you'd like to see any of these properties, I will hook you up with Adam. All you have to do is call 407-205-0400. All right, question for both of you. Hottest parts of the real estate market in Central Florida. What do you think?
Right now, multifamily on
Yeah.
on the commercial side is the hottest thing. Industrial property is unbelievably hot as well from a commercial standpoint. One of the things I was at CBRE as well, and prior to getting into property management. I think what's really exciting about real estate is there are cycles in the market, but there are also cycles in the property types that you want to be involved in.
Sure.
And so I think there's a great opportunity for multifamily as it's the economics of it. Orlando's growing, so people need places to live. So that's beautiful. On the industrial side, you have Amazon coming in. You have Walmart, a lot of online shopping, so they need warehouse space.
Sure.
So
Got it. What about you, Vivian? What do you think the hottest areas of Orlando to purchase real estate?
I think as we run out of room, Central Florida and so on, you got the Winter Garden. You have all those areas like Oviedo. Even that's getting built out now. I mean, it's crazy.
What do you guys think is investment buying a townhouse? Are townhouses good for me to invest in or bad? What do you think?
So if I was new to Orlando, I would buy a townhouse if the area is where I wanted to be. And again, I've always wanted to own real estate my whole life, so I would go for buying it, and then if I was leaving, I would rent it out. So I think they're great investments depending on the area that you want to be in.
And I would qualify that just by saying yes, a townhouse, especially as you're starting out, but check your HOAs. That's the scariest part.
Yeah.
And sometimes people will tell me that it's condo is a bad investment, though, because of the HOA. Do you see one being better than the other, townhouse versus condo, for an investment property?
I would steer towards townhouse as a better investment than a condo, yeah.
What do you think, Adam?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. The HOA fee would be scary to me as an investment. But again, it depends on what your goal is with the property. Is this
Right.
place you want to live, and is an area you want to be close to? I think sometimes you have to make sacrifices if you want to be close to something that you.
People always tell me Lake Nona's going crazy. Is it still going crazy down there, you think?
It's almost impossible to find anything down
Really?
there. Yes, it's a hot area, but at the same time, it's already built out. You're going down into St. Cloud if you want to find anything.
Yeah, exactly. All right, excellent job, guys. You're going to stick around for the real estate roundtable, I hope?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
All right, and now without further ado, it is time for this week's edition of the Real Estate Roundtable. Every Saturday here on You Have Real Estate, I answer your questions from throughout the week. All you have to do is follow us at You Have Real Estate on Facebook or YouTube, and you can ask me questions right there as well. Let's go down to Jose in Kissimmee. Do you know anything about qualifying for HUD housing?
I
don't
don't
really
have any
either.
experience
I don't either.
with HUD.
So basically for HUD housing, it's not so much that you're qualifying for it. You can still get the same types of loans, whether it's an FHA loan or a VA loan or whatever. It's just HUD housing is specific to you have to sign up as an agent to be able to show a HUD house. I do know that.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
It just seems like the rental market is tight, and we do have, HUD programs and things, but I don't think there's enough to really go around for the people that really do need it.
No.
But
What's good about like a HUD and some of the other ones too is when they do put it on the market, they don't let investors bid the first 15 days. There's
Oh,
like
okay.
that first first 15-day look window is what they call it.
Got it.
And then after that, the investors. So it gives that opportunity to the homeowner to purchase something.
Paul in Claremont ask, I'm thinking about putting an offer in on a house. Should I make a full price offer?
No.
No? What do you think? I mean, I know the competition is still hot. Is it one of these deals where people are coming in and offering above asking price, or is there still some negotiation room there?
I think I first of all look at days on market for a house. If it's been on the market for more than 30 days, no, do not put a full price offer. If it's within the first 5 days, we're going to look around. If we see it's terribly overpriced, again, I'm still not going to suggest, because I don't want my buyer to overpay for it either.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think, Adam?
Just on an investment side, not on buying. That's how I normally
Sure.
look at it. I wouldn't make a full price offer. I'm always you're looking at hundreds of properties to get the best deal that you can in return on your capital.
Yeah.
So you're in there working and trying to get a better deal.
How has it helped you having some experience in mortgage and commercial lending and that sort of thing, and really being an investor yourself? Do you think that helps you during your day job?
Yes, I think one of the things that sets Atrium apart in particular is the banking background that I had, as well as the development side, and then being an owner. One of the really cool things that we do at our company is we allow our employees to invest in some of the apartment buildings that we buy. We want our staff to know what it's like to have to fix a leaky water heater. So I think it gives us a big advantage. And the banking piece of it, to me, I'm biased, but it's huge. It's how you structure the deal. It will help you down the road, or it can hurt you.
Sure, absolutely. Adam Wonus, thank you for being here. He's a partner at Atrium Management Company.
Thank
Come back
you.
and see us anytime, all right? Vivian Lehman, you have Realty. Excellent job.
Thank you.
Today, thank you both for being here, and happy holidays, guys.
Yeah, happy
You
holidays.
too,
And
yes.
most importantly, thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions about anything we discussed, people are standing by right now. Or if you need to get a pre-approval letter to start that house hunt, 407-205-0400. I'm attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you right back here next week for another edition of You Have Real Estate. Are you considering selling your home and you would like to have it featured right here on our show? Or are you looking to get back in the house market and you need to get pre-approved? All you have to do is give us a call, 407-205-0400. I'm attorney Justin Clark. For those of you who are fans of You Have Real Estate, I'm so excited to announce the new radio show starting the day after Labor Day. It's Florida Man Radio 105.5. I'll be on at 6 o'clock p.m. I follow Shannon Burke. Please tune in the day after Labor Day, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. You're going to love Florida Man Radio. I'll see you on the radio.